Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Puria and I'm from Augusta University School of Computer and Cyber Sciences. This is my second year presenting. I have the honor to present at TechNet Augusta. And today I'm presenting our research on behalf of my colleagues, which the title on it is AI-powered decision support in privacy laws. I'm happy to be here because last year I presented the idea of a research, but this year this is actually accepted 2 days ago at the Hawaiian International Conference on System Sciences, or HICS, which we're really happy to be there. But this is more than an idea, so I'm really excited about it. So I hope that you guys really enjoy it. The reason that I'm excited about this work is that this work sets at the critical challenge of the intersection of artificial intelligence and law, which I'll explain about it a little bit further down the road. For this presentation, I'll start by introducing our research, what is the highlight of our work. Then I'll go through some of the background literature and set the scene, mention what was the moment of realization for us to make the research questions. And later we'll go through our methodology and our findings, discussion, and last and most importantly, I'll talk about the practical implications of this research and what's for the future of this topic. So the legal world is rapidly adopting artificial intelligence. Tools known as large language models, or LLMs, are already boosting productivity in law firms and regulatory agencies, but this process comes with a critical dilemma. The most powerful AI models are closed source and proprietary, meaning to use them, a law firm or a court would have to send their potentially sensitive case data to a third-party server. This action itself could be a violation of certain or strict privacy regulations. And for our case, Europe's GDPR, creating a direct conflict between leveraging the best technology and guaranteeing the data confidentiality. This brings us to the critical question of our study. Can we get the best of both worlds? Specifically, can large language models that run locally on premise and completely private perform well enough to be a viable alternative to a big cloud model for complex tasks like identifying GDPR violations? To answer this, our work makes three key contributions. First, we conduct the first direct comparison and benchmarking of two types of models for law purposes. We establish a solid methodology for this kind of evaluation, and we chart a course for developing the next generation of secure and effective AI for legal compliances. To understand the complexity, and without boring you all to death, let me give you a real-world example. As you can see on the picture here, this is like a real-world law violation that happened based on GDPR laws. A gas company leaked proper identifying verification and as a result emailed a person's sensitive data to a third party. On the website that tracks these violations, it only shows one certain laws, Article 32, that got violated. But when you go through and ask that from ChatGPT or Gemini, their highest end models, at the time that we were doing this study, GPT-5 wasn't still available. So at that time, GPT-4o gave us the best performance, and Gemini 2.5 Pro also. Gave us two more articles. So there's still ambiguity about the laws and how a human can actually put a certain violation on a case which with all of the knowledge and training that we do on large language models, it still boosts that ambiguity. Here's what ChatGPT and Gemini predicted, and as you can see, they had different priorities on the law violation about the same case. But sharing sensitive data with them, I don't think that would be a good idea. This is where our study comes and shine. To test the model in a fair and controlled way, we designed this end-to-end workflow, and I'll walk you through it. It starts with crafting a very specific prompt for AI. We don't just ask questions. We give it an expert persona, a complete knowledge base of all GDPR articles and laws, which was completely scraped from EU GDPR law official website. A couple examples of how to think through a problem, and finally a new case summary we want the model to classify. This entire package is sent to a language model, which you'll see which language models a little bit further down the road, and then we capture the model's raw responses, parse its final predictions, and then we measure its accuracy. Our experiment is grounded in real-world data. So for that, we scraped over 2,600 actual GDPR enforcement decisions from 2009 to 2025. And from 2018 to 2025. And our primary one is a set of 379 recent cases from 2024. And we also do a much larger set over like 1,700 cases to ensure the model's performance was stable and it wasn't just a fluke over like 300 cases. We selected five state-of-the-art large language models, 2 proprietary models from Google runs in the cloud, but not in a regular cloud on like Google Cloud Console, which is still private and we have all the access to it. And the rest of the models runs on a computer that we had access to, which a single A100 NVIDIA and A180 gigabytes. And then by this way, we are ensuring that there are no data is being shared and being trained on a openly available large language model, so that we won't violate any sort of like privacy laws. So let's dive into our results, a bunch of numbers. To give you a better understanding of it, this table shows the full performance metrics of all of our like 5 models that we tested. This brings the notice into 2 main accuracy types. So as you can see on here, if I can show it to you, we have a strict certain sort of like testing, and we have a parent article level. What does that mean? So GDPR laws have depths to it. So we have Article 5, and then we have Article 5.1, and it has like some sub laws to it, Article 5.1f, for example, or 5.1a. And when we are going for the strict testing, we expect the model to predict the exact law that the case got violated. And when we are like looking at the parent article level, we are expecting it to predict that, yeah, it's violated the general law of Article 5. When we are looking at it like that, we see that when we are looking at it as a strict way, we have accuracy of like 12 to 13%, but when we are looking at it as a parents article level, we have 57% of accuracy over predicting the violations over certain cases. You can see the top cloud models, Gemini 2.0, Flash, and Flashlight, hits nearly like 58% of accuracy. And our best local models hit around a solid 45% difference. So not much of a difference. if I don't want to be showing you some random numbers and give you the actual presentation, actual visualization over it, you see a key question for us was that whether the results were consistent. This chart in specific shows that the accuracy between 379 cases and the 1701 wasn't that much different. As you can see, the flat accuracy curves indicate robust and generalizable performance, which it tells us the models didn't just get lucky on a small or a specific set of cases. Their performance is stable, and this gives us the opportunity as a high confidence to have a high confidence in our results. But their performance isn't just about accuracy. On the left plot, you see the accuracy against the speed of the models. The cloud models are like way faster, over a mile. But this is a major advantage for like a higher volume of work, to be honest. But on the right, you see the plot against the data complexity. So when you're looking at it like that, the green area represents the region of optimal efficiency over detecting the law violations. And as you can see, all of the models are within the region, and it's not that like you're running like a smaller model locally and you're getting like no performance at all. They might not be as fast as the cloud models because of our hardware limitations, but they're still doing good, which gives us a good hope. And you might be asking, what will be that hope? That hope brings us to our actual discussion. Since we established a clear, persistent 3-point performance gap between the best proprietary model and the open source and local alternative one of it, it shows us it's not like a trivial difference. It can be a difference between a correct, like 13% is still a lot. It can be like the difference between like a incorrect legal classification, which has like real world consequences. But the realization fundamental here is for us that it's no longer just simply buying a server and having more accuracy over the cloud. This shows us that the gap that we have here can be fixed with some teaching. And you might be asking, what would be that? Our hope and our road for the future work would lay into the knowledge distillation. Our proposed solution to close that gap and make the accuracy better and make it viable for the large language models to actually run efficiently on a local computer would be to having this strategy. This idea is about to use a massive high-performance teacher cloud model to train a much smaller, more efficient student model locally. And this student model learns to replicate the reasoning of the teacher, but it is smaller enough to run on a local workstation. So you might not even need to have a crazy GPU on a computer to run that. You can maybe even have it on a local computer of an investigator or a judge. This approach allows us to create a tool that has best of the both worlds, near state-of-the-art accuracy and the absolute data security of on-premise solution, fully satisfying GDPR principles. And to conclude, our research confirms that you don't have to sacrifice privacy for performance. Locally hosted language models are a potent and viable tool for legal work where confidentiality is non-negligible. They're incredibly efficient, and through techniques like knowledge distillation, we can build the next generation of AI tools for legal domains. And they're not only powerful, but most importantly, they're secure and auditable, of course. Looking forward, this work opens several exciting possibilities. We can extend the model to not just identify a violation, but to predict the likely financial penalty of a violation, which could be which can be used for risk assessment, and also we can develop it into a tool for companies to upload their workflow or their data management to it and see what are the laws that they're violating and what would be the potential fine that they can get for, so that they can prevent this sort of law violations over users' data privacy. And beyond Europe, this work provides a concrete roadmap and empirical data that can help guide the conversation here in the United States as well, as we don't have a standard user privacy regulation laws, and it can help here in the US for the policymakers to work to draft a unified federal privacy framework. Thank you so much for being here and listening, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Okay.
Maybe I missed it, but when you crunched all the numbers to look for accuracy, AI, you said, this AI brought back this answer, this brought back this answer, and they were different. How did you determine that is accurate? In other words, you got all these thousands of responses that you crunched. How do you know which one's accurate when they're all bringing back different things?
So that is the reason that we didn't test our work on the entire 2,600, 700 cases that we scraped from enforcement tracker website. We set it into a test and a training sort of data set. We had this knowledge base and these examples for the large language models to know what was the exact accurate answers. Okay. And after that, they classified the law violations. We compared it to the actual correct answer that was provided on the enforcement tracker website, so that we could actually see what was different between there and us. And that is the reason that we got this 57% accuracy. Because
you were testing the AI.
Exactly. We benchmarked and tested AI, but not on a generic thing, on an actual decision over a violation of a law. And the reason that we have lower accuracy across the models on a strict model is that most of the time they actually predicted the correct parent law. But for example, Gemini predicted violation of law 6.2b, which the real case was law 6.2f. So our strict model pinpointed that, but our parent laws still has a good accuracy, which can, with a little bit less limitation over the accuracy, over the hardware that we can run our models for, and having a better RAG and different technologies over this, we can actually make this model 80 or 90% accurate.
That makes sense. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Peter, for your presentation. My question has to do with the teacher and student model. Can you touch on how does that model improve privacy? Because the way I understand it, if your teacher model is a cloud-based, and say, for example, there's some privacy issue with the cloud-based teacher model, that issue will basically carry over to the student model as well. So how does this model kind of improve privacy?
Great question. So actually, as we're talking about the cloud model, we're not talking about the generic cloud model that we have APIs and everything for, ChatGPT 5 or Gemini 2.5 Pro. We're still talking about the models that can be run on a local data center, but private to our access, that can, or even on a local computer. For example, OpenAI just a few days ago released its first open source model, which it is a 270 billion parameter model. It's not easy to run that model on any sort of computer. Maybe even some servers will struggle with that. So if we use that model and it's like thinking ability to be able to train a smaller student model, which like I don't have the QR code on the for the paper for you guys to read because it just accepted a couple days ago, but it'll be available on my Google Scholar as soon as it's gets published. You see the mathematics behind it, and that can actually really work. And for that, I'm not a math expert, but one of our authors is here, Dr. Lin Lee, and she's way more proficient on the mathematical side of this question. So if you want to be discussing with that, I think she'll be more than happy about talking about that with you.
First, thank you for the presentation. I just want to add on that most likely we would use a open source as a teacher instead of like a ChatGPT, because what we want the student model to learn is the parameters, right? So once the teacher's model's parameters are learned by the student's model, so we train them to solve the specific questions. In our case, it's law-related questions. So in this case, we can make the model more easier for the edge employment instead of on a large scale. That is the question and answer. It's good enough? Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.